Welcome to Lumberjillville, y'all nasty things. Keep it classy, don't be a nasty.
Woo! Come here, Alexa. I just got my basic 119 Lacey Evans figures. Man, I thought they were lost in the mail.
Did you seriously just woo?
Well, yeah, I'm excited.
You're really going to do that after that horrible storyline with Lacey and Ric Flair where they made it seem like he was the one who took Lacey to Space Mountain?
Hey, enough. Listen, it was cleared up in storyline the last couple weeks that is not what happened. Honestly, she is pregnant by her husband in real life, and that's how it goes. Yeah, you're right, I can't woo anymore. It'll make me think of that storyline.
Woo.
Stop it.
Woo.
Stop it. Woo!
Woo. Oops.
Hey y'all, welcome to Lumberjillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now, all jokes aside, excluding that intro and everything, Lacey Evans is very near and dear to my heart and very special to me. If you read about her or do some research on her, listen to some podcasts she's been on, she's a truly inspirational woman and mother. And honestly, I just admire her so much. And she's helped me personally through some dark times. So the fact that we're getting more Lacey figures is always a good thing. And her Elite was one of my first reviews if you want to go back and watch that. So needless to say, this is a special review for me, and I'm glad that these figures did show up. They were lost a couple days in the mail, but either way, I'm really excited for this. So let's dive in. So to start off, we're going to look at the boxes real briefly, as these basic boxes are nothing special. However, this thing pops because it's got a nice photo of Lacey Evans, who's very photogenic. Now on the left we have the regular version, and on the right we have the chase version. They continued the theme with these women's basics that the chase version is actually the attire that she more often wears. So that's kind of interesting. Now taking a look at the back, it just has the rest of the line, which is a pretty decent line. Kind of boring with the Cena and Orton, but I know that Dominic and Triple H are pretty neat. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at these figures, starting with the regular version. Lacey Evans from Basic Series 119 regular version. This attire is from Money in the Bank 2020, which took place on May 10th, 2020, where Asuka would come away with the Money in the Bank briefcase ultimately. Alright, so let's start off with this face and head, and it is the exact same face scan that was used on the Elite Series 76, and the hair sculpt's the same too. The biggest difference being this time the hair color is a little lighter, but I'll do a little comparison with that Elite toward the end. But the face scan to me works fine. I think it resembles Lacey just fine. Is it perfect? I really don't think it is, but it's close enough and does the job. And I do like this hair sculpt that's kind of brushed to one side of her shoulder. Now, the biggest letdown of this regular version is this top. So, like I mentioned before with these women's basics, they've been recently really just painting on the attire. And it could work if they put the effort and detail into it. It could really work. And here on the top, they just didn't put a lot of effort to detail in it, honestly. It's just plain blue. Now, if they were going off that Money in the Bank appearance, then she should have a little bit of a design on the top. But it is what it is. That top is just really boring, and I think they could have made it stand out more. Now, she does have these yellow bottoms that are painted waist high, so that's very accurate. Turning her around, she has these two lines that go all the way down her legs. So that's a nice little addition there, like little straps. And on the front, I have trouble with this because I'm colorblind. The legs might be a little bit darker, which is great because it simulates the pantyhose. But in all actuality, I can't tell because of my color blindness. So let me know in the comments. But she has these big blue knee pads here. And then her boots they're almost like an off black. Again, with the colorblind thing. Like, they're pure black on her chase figure, but this, it's like a little bit of a grayish type black. So, yeah, there's not much to say about the attire here. I think the yellow and the blue looks good, but they definitely could have added some more paint detail on the top. Lacey Evans from Basic Series 119 Chase version. Now, this attire was worn quite often from Lacey, but a good match to watch her wrestle in this attire is versus Ember Moon, which took place on Raw on September 23rd, 2019. But yeah, like I said, she's worn this quite a bit, including recently with her appearances with Ric Flair. So moving on to the chase, we're not going to cover the face because it's the exact same as that regular version. Now this to me is an attire that really pops and looks great. And they went the extra mile with all the little painted details, and that's awesome. Now she has worn this attire quite a bit. And if you've watched Raw over really the last year, you've seen her wear this. And the top is like a black leather in real life. And so here, it is just a painted on top. However, they did add some nice little extra details, including where it goes up on her neck a little bit. And then this little black strap going across. So also on the side, they have a little strap painted on going around. So this is a perfect example of when they can make the attires look great if they just put the effort into the paint application on these female wrestlers. So I think the top looks great and it works. And then the bottom, I feel like this could be my color blindness, but I feel like these two reds don't match. Let me know in the comments, but I feel like they might not match. But either way, the red pops and looks good. There's little black dots on there. It's nice she has a smoothed over belly button, everybody. She doesn't have the dimple, deep dimple Victoria's Secret body paint issue. So on the back, she has these little straps painted all the way down with black knee pads. And then these black boots. So yeah, I think this is definitely the Lacey to get. And I'll be honest with you, this might be my favorite women's basic of all time. I don't know why. I just really, really love it. Now that I've covered the two, let's do a little comparison to that Elite. Alright, so here on the left we have Basic Series 119 regular version. In the middle we have Elite Series 76. And on the right we have Basic Series 19 Chase version. And from first glance, I have to tell you, I think the Basic resembles her body overall. Now, she's 5'8". She's a tall woman. And that was really my only complaint about that Elite Series 76 is it was a little short. And a lot of times when they add a lot of sculpting detail and tooling, it seems like they shrink it down just like that Natalya Elite. However, that Elite is a cool figure. But if you're going for a figure of Lacey Evans for your shelf that looks like Lacey from a distance, I mean, oh man, I would almost go with this Basic 119 Chase. I love that they captured her long legs, which they did in her Elite 2 to an extent, but she has very long legs. And it might look a little weird or it might not look that accurate from looking at the figure, but I'm telling you, if you've watched Lacey wrestle, you know that she has very long legs, and they capture it really nice in the basics. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, because I know a lot of the women's basics that come out are a lot taller than they should be, but here for Lacey, it works really well. Now, taking a closer look at that hair color like I talked about, it's a lot more blonde, and I think it just pops a lot more on this basic. The Elite, it's like a golden yellow type color, but either way, I kind of like that lighter blonde color. So, the Elite is a great figure, don't get me wrong, and obviously the Elite has the articulation, has all the extra paint detail, but if you're going for a Lacey figure for your shelf that you want to stand out and look like Lacey from a distance, I mean, no joke, this right here looks like a shrunken down version of Lacey, and I freaking love it. And here's one last look at Basic Series 119, both the regular version and the Chase version. So overall, I give Basic Series 119 regular version of Lacey in the blue and yellow a score of a 7.5 out of 10. Now this attire to me is just kind of boring and kind of falls flat. Now they could have added a lot more detail, especially in her top, that would have raised that score, but they didn't. The reason it is at 7.5 is because that overall body and everything resembles her perfect. So that being said, I give Basic Series 119 Chase version in the red and black a score of a 9.5 out of 10. And I stand by that score. I really do. Unlike my Rhea Ripley Basic that I gave that score, forgive me, This is a 9.5 basic to me. The only reason it's not a perfect 10 is because there was really no tooling involved to mold on any part of her attire, and that would be really nice to see. But yeah, I think they really went the extra mile with the paint application here, and honestly, like I said, I think from a distance, this looks more like Lacey Evans and her Elite. So call me crazy, but this is a great basic, and if you're going to get one of the two, definitely get the Chase version. Thanks for stopping by Lumberjillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and join the community for a first look at all future women's wrestling figures. Also, make sure to check out our podcast, Lumberjillcast, and find out how you could win a Riho figure. Have a good night, y'all.